Thanks for watching this episode of the N to One for Game podcast. We're still practicing for Richmond, so we're going to go over this deck right here. This was inspired by Rahul Reddy and his performance at Greensboro. Main attacker is CeleSaur. You've got Pheromosa, there's a free retreat non-GX attacker, and Shaman. So you're going to heal with Shaman, and that's going to prevent knockouts a lot. This deck has been updated since the Greensboro. There's just a lot of new stuff going on here. Cards that came out, like Great Potion, that'll just heal 50, no conditions, nothing like that. I thought about putting Life Herb in here, but this, this just works right away. You don't need a second one, and some other changes. So we've put in the Coach Trainer. That's a new card. And also replaced, in Rahul's list, he had Ether Paradise, which is a good card, but just, in my opinion, taken into account new circumstances, I put in Power Plant. So the idea is to pop off real quickly with a Grass Energy, get your double colorless energy with Energy Lotto, or just draw straight into it, and just do 50 with Pollen Hazard. It's 80 after conditions, and you can even boost your energy up with the Fighting Fury Belt or the Choice Band. You've got N for Disruption. You've got Scramble Switch. If they're close to a knockout, you can just switch out for a new CeleSaur. You've got healing cards here. Just put in one Faba just in case they've got a special energy or a tool that's especially problematic. There are a lot of, I'll say, in my opinion, are oppressive stadiums in the format right now, like Skyfield. If your opponent has Skyfield and they can get a Mega Rayquaza, they can get or anything that just involves like playing a loads and loads of Shaman and Dedenne and Tapu Lele. Turn one. You can shut off their Skyfield. What's really good and expanded? Dimension Valley. There you go. That can shut off Dimension Valley. That can shut off a lot of stuff. And then you've got two Guzma, just in case you need to take like the last few prizes off of the bench. We're going to go ahead and play. Some things that I have been having trouble with are Hoopa decks. That's a problem. I put the Pheromosa in there, so hopefully that'll take out a Hoopa every once in a while. Another way of dealing with Hoopa is just to attack other stuff. I mean, you've got two Guzma in there and then 4 Via Seekers, so you could, in theory, get 6 knockouts with Guzma. That would require them to play other Pokemon, which, you've got a lot of people with huge benches in expanded formats, so it could happen. One of the problems I've been having with the deck is with Tapu Koko GX. And this was a problem back when CeleSaur, double colorless energy, and Tapu Koko GX were all in standard a few months ago. You'd have 5 energy on a CeleSaur, or just 4 energy on one CeleSaur and 1 energy on your bench CeleSaur. That's 5 energy in play. They can Tapu Koko GX and knock you out. Just try to make yourself not one-hit knockoutable. Just, you've got 270 HP. You can bump that up with Fighting Fury Belt. I've seen some people use buff padding to go up to 320. I prefer to go to 210 with Fighting Fury Belt and just get that extra 10 damage. Sometimes that extra 10 damage can make the difference. But yeah, with Pikazek decks, you do have that threat of getting one-hit knockout. And if you don't have, Fighting Fury Belt, they could Tag Bolt with 3 Electro Power. Choice Band is still legal in this format, so that's an option. Yeah, that's a problem I've had with Pikarom, is just underestimating the power of just a regular Tag Bolt, just doing one Tag Bolt, no extra effect. that can still be, the right choice early game if you need to guarantee knock out something. And here we go. So we're going up against Mew Mew. I mean, it was pretty obvious when we saw the Deoxyon as their active. And they've got the turn 1 combo. So I'm hoping that I can get one of my 3 power plants in play. Mew Mew in Expanded, as I've seen it, the Archie's Stoice variant of Mew Mew, it's not heavy on stadiums. So I should be able to see, there we go. He's already burned up one of his stadiums. I should be able to get stadiums down, get my power plant down, and not have a lot of problem getting into that whole stadium war. Unfortunately, he's getting set up real good, and he might just get, a Kingdra. And I thought about Silent Lab in this deck, which has just been in, it's an idea that's fresh in my head. I thought about Silent Lab in this deck, which would shut down Execute. But hey, I like this Shaman, not the Shaman EX, the Lost Thunder Shaman that heals. I like it, and unfortunately Silent Lab would shut it down. But Power Plant is not, so that's why we're playing Power Plant. I played a lot of greens CeleSaur in Standard before in the Sun and Moon On format. And, I certainly did give some thought to making this deck I'm playing right now a greens deck, just basically rebuilding the deck entirely. But, I want to try out the Shaman again. I think it's worth it. All right, so let's just search for a Shaman here, see what else we have. And let's just hope we get something we can get. Nope. Get that power plant with. And there we go. Let's attach that there. Put that down, and let's see what we get. And we did not get it. But yeah, let's just put down another Shaman. And I think we're at a really serious risk of getting knocked out, so let's just retreat. And we'll just leave it there. So not the start that we wanted. I mean, we still have some serious potential here. If we get rid of the Viridian Force, if we get down a power plant and we just get in a few attacks, we might just be solid. So this is a big, beefy tag team, and it is really good against single prize attackers in both formats, both expanded and standard. It's been good against those just because it really can't get one hit KO'd by anything that's a single prizer. I mean, just, 2 prizers and tag teams have trouble knocking it out in one hit, but single prizers, I can't think of a single one. Not within the confines of anything that would happen during a average Pokemon match. Okay, so it looks like he's going to knock out my Shaman either through Deoxyon's GX attack or through, or you can just really just use any attack. I mean, anything that does 70 or more. I mean, Hydro Pump. He can do Hydro Pump. Why waste a GX when he can just do Hydro Pump? Yep, there we go. So he's going to do 140, have 60 left over for the CeleSaur. So I have 210 hit points left, which will get a knockout. I mean, the Kingdra GX can knock that out. The Hydro Pump attack. Yeah. So I've got to come up with something quick. So let's just pray I get that power plant in a DCE. And whiff. If he has anything that can do damage on the bench, I mean, that's it. Nope, hey, there we go. Attach and retreat. This deck has had trouble against Hitmonchan Wobbuffet. They're going to run Shrine of Punishment. They're going to send up the Wobbuffet, which is a problem because you've got Shaman. You can't use its ability if they send up Wobbuffet. And the Shrine of Punishment, sometimes the Shrine of Punishment is just enough. It's just enough to make you quit. So we've got 360 for a knockout. Woo! That is a lot of damage. So I didn't get those power plants, unfortunately. A deck that could do a lot of damage is Rayquaza Ho-Oh. Like getting what would you need? 279, 9 energy in play. I've seen it before. 9 energy, you could do that, and that would be 270. And Sable Garb. Sable Guard would probably also be a problem because you need 3 energy attached, and they're just in order to do any damage at all. And they're always finding a way to discard energies. I expected to do good against Archie's Blastoise Mew Mew, but I never drew the power plant. So it looks like we're going up against Dark Box. And I'll attach that. I don't have anything critical in my hand, so let's just go for the YOLO. Okay. Not bad. Attach that there. And we'll done. Okay, and looks like my opponent conceded unexpectedly. Actually, it looks like his connection just crapped out there. So I'm going to see what's going on here. Okay, so it looks like my opponent's connection crapped out, so we're going to try that again. Okay, so Shaman start. Not what we wanted, but we'll go with it. And not good. So we'll just power plant them. Put down that and hope for the best. So worst comes to worst, he gets 3 energy, which would be, what is that, 90? All right, worst comes to worst, he gets 2 energy, which would be 90, and he can't knock me out. So he did an elixir and a normal attachment. Oh, and there we go. So good chance he'll get a stadium. There we go. And you can battle compressor. Get Ho-Oh back in there, or not Ho-Oh, but yeah, Darkrai GX. Same idea. You know, I swear I've got basic search in here. I've got 4 netball. I've got supporters to draw. But the problem is, right, if you start with the shaman, the coach trainer doesn't help. Okay, so we're having some connectivity issues. Looks like my opponent's Internet connection is crapping out on him again. Okay. There we go. So, got a decent start here. So I got CeleSaur, and I'm gonna just be able to get my stuff done with N. The good news right now about Expanded is I haven't been having much trouble with fire, just because it's not a popular deck. Who knows? That may change. We'll just throw down another CeleSaur. Why not? Night March decks could be a problem. I'm not running Karen. I think that 270 is a high enough hurdle that I don't really have to worry about it. And the problem I have is I don't really have any way to do bench damage, so I can't knock out those Joltics for a few easy prizes. Looks like we're about to get a lot of damage in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, he's got 270 plus the Fighting Fury bounce. He's got 280. Ouch. So right now my best hope is to lock him out with Power Plant. Hope he doesn't draw anything, and lock him out with N. And I need Fighting Fury Belt. I have to get Fighting Fury Belt. So let's just do that. Get an energy. Don't care what it is. Just need to get going. I need to survive a turn. Let's do that. And he'll probably discard, yeah. All right, and here we go. I just need one Fighting Fury Belt. And I did not get it. see if I've got anything. Yeah, none of that's going to help me. So I'll say good game to my opponent. And, yeah, done. Okay, so looks like my opponent got an easy win out of that. We're about to move on to the next match. Ooh, nice jacket. I think that Dark Box does a lot of what Pikazek does, and oh man, he's trying to cut off my options with an early game Marshadow. It looks like he's taking his time. Looks like he's unsure if he wants to hit that yes button that pops up every time you put down the card. I think that Dark Box is a superior version of the Pikazek in Expanded, but just Pikazek was more recently played than these other cards. The Darkrai EX came out, I want to say, in 2012, 2013. So a lot more people are more familiar with this card than some of the cards in Dark Box. There we go. Lily after a Marshadow. I just love doing that. Sometimes I've done a Lily first and then a Marshadow after I've gotten all the benefit of those sweet, sweet 8 cards. But yeah, man. So with Zoro Ninja and Dark Box, as you just saw in that last match. I mean, you can go up to 280 damage. You can go further. Whereas with Pigazek, you're limited to really whatever's printed on the card and whatever you can get with plus power. I'm not saying that Pigazek isn't a versatile deck. I mean, you have the option to attack with Rai, which we didn't see any of that at the last expanded regionals because the card did not come out yet. But I think Rai is going to be a factor. I mean, I don't think I don't know. I don't think you need to hit with Rai just because it's just so the format's just so fast. And we'll put down that and the power plant just in case they're thinking about retreating for free. You've got I just saw a list with Electric, the one from like Noble Victories, I think it is. Lets you, it's like Malamar, but for lightning types. So yeah, there is some versatility with the deck, but you're still limited to what's printed on the card. So the 150 with Full Blitz or Tag Bolt 200 plus whatever damage modifiers you're able to come up with. And I like this Wishful Baton here. This is nice. I mean, I can knock it out, but it's still something else is going to be a threat after I knock it out. I wasn't keeping track of how many lightnings he had in the discard pile, but I'm about to find out. Okay, he's got 2. And look, man, there's only 2 choices. You've got 2 lightning attackers right there. Come on. Maybe my opponent has a slow connection. Or maybe he's like eating a pizza at the same time. Like I've definitely like played games where I'm like, I've got a bowl of cereal and I'm just, I'm taking a few spoonfuls here and there. And when it's my turn to do something, like it takes a few seconds longer. So there we go. So I can get hit one more time. So, man, I need to pop off, man. I need to draw fire. And that does not help. And he's got enough for a Tag Bolt. So he wins next turn. You have a good deck. So I thought I was being really cool, like stopping him from retreating with power plant, but that Marsh Shadow got out of the active position. Oh yeah, and this exact thing has happened to me so many times, and it's standard and expanded. Just getting Tag Bolt knocked out with CeleSaur, because you're not running a Mew, you're not running any way to prevent bench damage, so you're gonna get a lot of those losses.